Hello, everybody. Good evening. Happy Thursday to you. I just wanted to reach out to say my name is Ryan of Ryan Fitness and Travel. I am a travel advisor, and I am joined with my good friend, my business partner with Norwegian Cruise Line, Mr. Chris Sarsky. Tonight, we are going to be talking to you about some amazing topics as far as cruising. Cruising has been amazing. It has been one of the hot topics, of 2021. We're so excited because a lot of great news has come out. And we figured that between myself, another agent who you know and love, Tisha Spencer, we'll all be talking about all of the great things that's going on. And we wanted to get you in front of the executives that help make those decisions and help make things go in the ways that they need to go. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Chris. Chris, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. It has been, wow, it's just been crazy ever since our return to service sailings. And today we just released our new ship, Norwegian Prima. So we're super excited about that. But yeah, things are looking really awesome over here. How about you, Ron?
Man, I am glad to hear that we are having return to service sailings, first of all, because Let me tell you something. It was a dry period. I was ready to get back on sea. I don't know about you, but I am so glad to hear that things are finally moving in a good direction. And I myself am curious. I know that we've talked about it before, but I myself am curious to learn more about the sail safe protocols that Norwegian has in place, as well as about that new ship that just released today. So, I did have a couple of questions, though, that I wanted to ask you. For those of you that are joining for the first time that don't know, I do want to ask you, Chris, why don't you talk to us a little bit about Norwegian Cruise Lines and what is it that makes them different? First of all, who is Norwegian and what is it that they do?
Sure. And thanks for the question, Ryan. Bottom line is we're freestyle cruising. So you follow your own schedule. There's no fixed dining times. There's no assigned seating. There's no dress code. Well, there's a few exceptions to that for some of our more upscale restaurants. But basically, that's the freedom that we give in Norwegian Cruise Line, and we provide in all of our ships and itineraries. So it first starts with choice. So you as the guests are welcome on board our ships. We have a wide variety of complimentary specialty dining options, entertainment that ranges from live music to comedy shows to Broadway shows straight from Broadway. So, and also we have a wide range of accommodations that are perfect for any type of traveler, whether it be you're a solo guest, a family, friends, or you have that high-end luxury, what we call the Haven. So there's tons of choices for you. And then when you come on board our ships, you're greeted by our friendly staff, and they're there to help make your vacation unforgettable. So that's kind of Norwegian. We are a global brand. We visit all 7 continents. We sail to all 450 destinations, 3-day cruises, and we go to different places that we also we go to those places where it's unique and different and not other contemporary cruise lines go to. And we call those extraordinary journeys. So, that's kind of Norwegian in a nutshell.
I see. And you know what? I'm so glad that you shared that with me because, it's not often that you hear about cruises that go to all 7 different countries. A lot of people sometimes think, well, if you go to
continents.
I'm sorry, continents. That's right. You got me. I've heard some people say, well, if you go cruising, all that you can really do is go to the Caribbean and maybe Alaska and that's it, but to be able to go to 7 different continents and to find something unique and interesting to explore on every single one, I really think is great. It's what sets Norwegian apart. But for those of us that are curious, now this is me personally. I've been a couple of places in the Caribbean. And I have taken a couple of cruises, some of them with Norwegian, some of them not. But in your opinion, what are some of the best places to go on a Norwegian cruise? What are the top 4 destinations that people definitely should book a Norwegian cruise for?
Top four. I would probably say Hawaii is one of those. Alaska, probably the Caribbean and Europe. Those are, places that our guests seek out, but also those are places that we do right as a cruise line. So we'll first start off with like Alaska. So we're actually custom built ships for Alaska. For example, we have a revolutionary 180-degree observation lounge. It's 2 stories, floor-to-ceiling windows, and it allows guests to see the bald eagles, the spotted whales, the white-sided dolphins. Then we also have what's called the Waterfront, and that's a place where it's outside, so guests can dine out there. They can drink along the ocean, and it's just a 50, 60 some feet from the ocean, so you're right there. And then also we have outdoor top deck activities. So we have the racetrack, open air laser tag, and all other types of activities. So it gets people outside, and when you go to Alaska, you want to see Alaska. So that's Alaska to begin with. And then Hawaii. I think this is the biggest seller for us. So we've been voted Best Hawaii Itinerary for 14 years in a row by Porthole Cruise Magazine. And what I like about our brand is that we start cruising right from the get-go. So you unpack once, you maximize your island time, you already have all your island's transportation that is provided, and we cruise Hawaii year-round. So what's unique about Alaska is that we have the Pride of America. She is a U.S. registered ship, so that allows us to do round-trip cruises every single Saturday from Honolulu, right? And the best part is because it is a U.S. state and a U.S. registered ship, you technically don't need a passport to cruise Hawaii. So
wow.
That's huge. But we visit 5 unique ports, Oahu, Maui, Hilo, Kona, and Kauai. And if you want to spend some extra time, of course, we have a additional cruise tour, so you can see the Polynesia Cultural Center, Pearl Harbor. You get to explore Waikiki a little bit more in depth, and it includes a transfer to the port, a tour guide, and you get to stay on the world famous Waikiki Beach. I mean, how beautiful is that?
Yeah, that sounds like a total bucket list trip. And to be able to do that in 7 days, or even if you want to go even longer to see all of those amazing sites, I love how you can do that with Norwegian. You can package it all together and you can do a cruise tour. You can add a couple days before, which is what you definitely want to do if you're doing Hawaii. And then I also love when you talk about a custom built ship for Alaska. Not a lot of cruise lines do that. So it's great that you guys are building for the destination as opposed to just building for what works and what's great, But what if I want to go somewhere right now, Chris? I have not been anywhere on a cruise in so long. What if I want to go somewhere this year? Could I do that with Norwegian, or is that something that we should probably wait until later?
So I'll give you 2 other places. So I did mention the Caribbean and I did mention Europe. Both of those are very popular destinations for our guests. Okay, so as I said, we've been voted 14 years by the Porthole Cruise Magazine for Best Hawaii Itinerary. So Caribbean, we've been voted 8 years in a row for Best Caribbean Cruise Line by World Travel Awards. So we have 12 ships, including the Encore and Breakaway. 8 departure ports, so whether it be Miami, New Orleans, New York, Orlando, Tampa, Panama City, San Juan, Tampa, and I will say there's 2 other ports that you did say for return or for cruising right now, and I guess we'll talk about that later, but basically we have 5, 7, 9, 10-day Caribbean cruises all available for our guests. Ooh. And then Europe, same thing. I mean, Europe is it's absolutely beautiful. It's full of sights and sounds and different types of things. We have a wide variety of ports, whether it be Eastern or the Eastern Med, the Western Med, Northern Europe, and the list goes on and on. But both of those places actually we will be cruising this summer and fall too. So we could talk about that a little bit later if you would like. But yeah,
definitely want to talk about that later. Yes, absolutely, man.
To keep you guys informed of that is we're cruising this summer and fall.
I am excited. Well, Chris, you know what? This has really been a great intro to really get us started to whet those appetites. And you've answered a lot of great questions. I heard a lot. I have taken some mental notes on what I will be doing shortly. But I do notice that it looks like there is a banner that shows this Norwegian Prima that's coming next year. And it sounds to me like that might be either a new ship or maybe a benefit or something like that. I mean, I think we should give the folks that are watching a quick sneak peek of what Norwegian Prima is. What do you think about that?
I think so, yeah.
I think that's a good idea. All right, guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you a quick sneak peek of the Norwegian Prima, Norwegian's newest ship coming in summer of 2022. So guys, stay tuned. This is going to be amazing. You're not going to want to miss it.
Introducing Norwegian Prima, the first in a new class of ship. Made for the trailblazers and tastemakers, for first-time seekers and explorers of the spectacular. Made for you. With more wide-open spaces to enjoy the great wide open. Rooms that have more room. And service that puts you first. Be the first to discover a new experience at sea. Norwegian Prima. Coming summer 2022.
So I'm sorry, it's the pool. Every time I see the pool go by on the screen, that infinity pool, I'm just like there, and maybe there too. I'm gonna be all there.
Well, you have 3 choices of it. So, or as far as I know. So
I'm darting all over the place. You guys will think I'm in the infinity pool. Next thing you know, I'm up on the top deck. Next thing you know, I'm up in the concourse. You won't be able to catch me. I'm gonna be running around it. Oh my gosh, how beautiful! Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh.
My first impression of that ship is the sleekness. We saw some pictures of the rooms, and one of the rooms, I was like, "Oh, that's a suite." There's like, "No, that's a balcony." I said, "Oh, okay, we have upgraded." I love the rooms because it's very different than the normal rooms cabins that you'll see on Norwegian. They have more of a luxurious hotel relaxation vibe. You know, I think you're going to dispel that whole myth of, well, I don't care what my room looks like because I'm never going to be in it. I don't know with these rooms, I have to be in there because these are photo shoot quality rooms to me. I don't know about you, Ryan, but I'm in love with the balcony, the club balcony suite. I already booked my cabin, everybody. It's already gone.
Yeah, I have to be right there with you. You know, I am booking a club balcony for another cruise, and it looks nothing like this. And I'm telling you right now, I need to have a club balcony on the Norwegian Prima for one of their sailings because it just makes you feel so much more at home. And you know, the space about it, like a lot of times cabins feel small, especially when you do those wraparounds or those look arounds. This one feels massive. You know, that's going to score major brownie points for me and for my clients that definitely want to spread out. But that was such a treat. So why don't we just continue on, Chris? You know, this Norwegian Prima, I can tell you worked so hard on it day and night to put that ship together. Why don't you tell us some of the new things that are being brought to the Norwegian Prima that we can look forward to when we start sailing on it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is absolutely beautiful ship. So, you know, I got a first glimpse of this a couple of weeks ago before it was released today. And when I first saw it, I mean, I've been on 40-some plus cruises myself, and I've seen all sorts of different types of ships, whether it be contemporary, premium, deluxe, luxury. And this ship just blew me away. So it is the first generation of ships for our fleet, and it will be part of what we are calling the Prima class. It is the first new class of ships that Norwegian has made in nearly 10 years. So, and people keep asking me, hey, what's up with the name? What's Prima? So actually, Prima is Italian, and it means first in Italian. So again, this is a brand new class for us. It's been 10 years, and we're so excited. But, when it comes to Prima, we push the boundaries on space, service, design, and the variety of experiences that our guests will enjoy. And we took the guests' feedback on what they enjoy. And that is, again, the spaces, the service, the experiences that they get, and of course, the design. So for us as a brand, we have a couple of new things that we did for this ship. So we have an upscale open air food hall, and it's called Indulge Food Hall. We have glass bridges with ocean walk. We have infinity pools, as you saw, and that was Infinity Beach. And then we also have an immersive outdoor sculpture garden with the concourse. Now, as a cruise industry first, we have our first exclusive suite complex located in the aft, or what we call the back of the ship, and it's overlooking the ship's wake. And then, of course, we have first infinity pools located on either side of the ship, as you saw, near the waterline. And that is first for the industry. No other ship has that. So we're super excited about that.
So thank you very much for confirming that those were indeed infinity pools, because I have been looking. I have not seen one on any cruise ship before this. So I am very excited to go on my first cruise ship with an infinity pool on it. So thank you. That is probably going to be my favorite feature. What about you, Tisha? What's yours going to be?
Well, I already know that I'm going to enjoy anything that has to do with the food. I'm glad to see a lot of my favorite restaurants still showing up there, as well as some other new ones showing up. But, I'm really curious, because we know that we have on the regular, Prima's now taking it to a whole new level. You have the boardwalk, and where you could go outside and you can walk, but now you have Ocean Boulevard. What makes those two areas different?
Yeah, so Ocean Boulevard is an evolution of our guest favorite, which, as you called it, it was the waterfront. And I briefly mentioned that during the Alaska, when I was talking about Alaska. So Ocean Boulevard is more than twice the size of the waterfront. And it's pretty much a destination within itself. So it allows guests to enjoy a full experience, a full day experience, actually, a variety of things that they can choose to do. So it wraps around the entire deck, not just halfway up the deck, right? So as I said before, we had those the glass walkway. Mm-hmm. So it's perfect for guests, doing selfies, or it's 50 feet above the ocean. And again, it's a glass bridge, right? So I'll probably be laying down and the ocean's right there. But other than that, I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. And just to give you an idea of the space, so the waterfront was about almost 20,000 square foot, and the Ocean Boulevard is about 44,000 square feet. So there's a lot of places. But like I said, I mean, there's so many things I can talk about. Like I said, the Infinity Beach. We have 2 infinity pools, each on both sides of the ship. There's an expansive pool deck with lounging spaces, so you'll see day beds. And it's kind of like the Haven. If you've seen some of our older ships, where there's actually like lounge chairs in the water, and it's surrounded by water. So it's pretty cool. But again, we have the art walk. We have Indulge Food Hall, which I'm super excited about. I'm a tastemaker, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. And then, we have outdoor dining. Some of my favorites, Anda by Scarpetta, Los Lobos, which is a contemporary, authentic Mexican dining. The Local, which is near and dear to my heart. I love the wings and just grab a beer there. That's so much fun. And then, like I said, Indulge Food Hall, which is tons and tons and tons of different types of cuisine for all sorts of different types of people. So it's awesome.
Well, look, I want to do something unplanned because we're talking about how great the rooms look. We should show them some pictures of what the room looks like. What do you think?
I agree. I mean,
visuals work, right?
I heard that, I heard something about the Haven. So frankly, I'm a little bit more interested in seeing what those rooms look like. I'm just saying because
what we're going to do is I'm going to call it what I call the sweet life. And that's what I always called it. But I saw this and I thought this was the Haven. And then I'm going to show you the Haven and you're going to be like, oh, I need to be there. Let me show you this first.
Please.
So look, Chris, when I saw that, I thought that was the Haven video.
Nope.
I thought that, I was like, that is so much room. And it's the first thing I thought about? Now, I don't have kids, but I have a lot of clients and business partners with kids. And the first thing I thought when I saw some of these rooms, there's enough room for the entire family to be in the room at the same time without them having to worry about getting connecting rooms and who's going to stay with the kids or putting the kids in the inside and adults on the other side. It's enough. It's enough for everyone. We got a request. Somebody wants us to play it again, but we're not.
We got to keep it moving. We got to keep it moving.
We got to keep it moving.
Catch the replay.
Catch the replay. You're right on that one. But matter of fact, book a ship, book a cabin. Then you can see it for yourself. But we are going to jump to the Haven because we cannot talk about Norwegian and not mention the Haven. I remember the first time I walked into the Haven and I was like, I get it. It was just like every light bulb went off and I said, I get it. I'm going to be here. That has always been my mission. So should we show them a little bit of the Haven before we talk about it?
I think you should.
I think so. Yeah,
we should. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to oblige
y'all.
Don't.
No, go ahead.
No. Okay. So here we go, guys. You ready? Hold on. Hold on to your mouses.
So I know that y'all said that it was going to be much roomier, but you didn't tell me it was going to be that much roomier.
It's an apartment. That room, whatever that first room was an apartment.
That is a condo. How come you can't do a timeshare on that? Like, I'm asking because I'm asking for a friend. Wow.
So my question is, we know the Haven is on a lot of different ships. But what is specific about this Haven, like the location? Because I heard something that the location of the Haven is a little different than the other ships. And why did y'all decide to do that?
Yeah, so we're making evolutions. We've been in the industry for 50 years, and we're making evolutions on our ships. So the beginning of our ships used to be in the middle. The Haven used to be in the middle of the ship. And then our most recent ships, it's at the front of the ship, but now it's all at the back. And what's great about that is that all the Haven rooms and all the spaces are all in the same location. So all the suites are located in walking distance to private elevators. The accommodations will actually run down the aft of the ship on 5 different decks. Okay. So again, 5 different decks. And I wish I could show you a picture right now, but I don't have one. But you'll see at the top of the ship, you have the public decks, right? There's 2 public decks for the Haven guests only. And what's unique about the Haven, of course, is it's, again, hidden away at the top of the ship. It's only accessible by private key card. and it's our most luxurious, well-appointed, and spacious accommodations, right? So what we try to do is centralize the Haven areas and also have all the Haven activities right there for all of our Haven guests. So what I like about the Haven is you start your vacation right away. So once you get to the pier, I mean, you're escorted to your private elevator, to your room, you have your private butler, you have a bottle of champagne, and so many other amenities that you can enjoy. So, the Prima. Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just going to say, I heard a rumor that once you go into the Haven, you don't ever sail anything but that, because with all that you just mentioned, I don't know if I could go back to a club balcony t-shirt. We might have to change to the Haven after this.
Well, baby steps. We started at balcony. Now we're going to club it up, and then we're going to Haven it up.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll take that.
And that's the beauty about the Haven is you don't have to leave the Haven. Again, you have private key card access to the Haven, right? But you also have the entire ship to enjoy for yourself as well. That's up to you to decide what you want to do. So you have your private, private pool, private courtyard, private sun deck. We have a spa now in our Haven suite, private bar. I mean, the list goes on and on. And that first room that you saw, that was our H2 category Premier Ocean Suite. So let me just talk about that for a second. I don't think I would ever leave that room. All right. So it has a separate living area, dining area, 3 bedrooms with king-size beds.
Wow. Again,
King-size beds, a double sofa, 3 bathrooms with jet showers. It has a half bath. It has expensive balcony and also an outdoor hot tub overlooking the ship's aft. So just like the infinity pool on top for the Haven guests, you also have your own, or not infinity pool, but you have your own hot tub looking out as you sail away from your next destination.
So what I heard from that is that I have my own private ship while I'm on a ship. And within a ship, that's right. Because between the private restaurants, between the private butler, between the amenities that you get in your room when you get there, the large, expansive balcony, I mean, I feel like all my needs are met right within that. Like and
you have a private elevator, which I think is amazing.
Well, hold on. I'm not done. So
there's more.
There's more.
Right? We have concierge service, right? Of course, we talked about the private hot tubs and sun deck. You have priority embarkation and disembarkation. We did talk about personal escort off and on the ship. You have priority specialty dining reservations, right? You have suite room service, 24 hours, white tablecloth in-suite dining, fine bed linens, pillow top mattresses, plush bathrobes, slippers, and other products. Sparkling wine and fruit, delicious treats, cocktail party with the ship's officers. I mean, I could keep going if you want.
No, I think I'm there. Like I'm there. I just got to pick up my dress.
You twisted my arm. I'm sold.
Yeah, Whew. So what other, besides the big dog ship room that you just told us about, what are some other categories could our clients take a gander at?
Yeah, gotcha. So again, that first room that you saw was the Premier Ocean Suite. We also have the Deluxe Ocean Suite and the aft-facing Owner Suite. And they're different categories. So we have H2, H3, and H4. So all the ones that I just listed are the ones that have the hot tubs and the expansive balconies that overlook the ship's aft. Okay. So there's a total of 8 suites that you can choose from in the Haven, and then 5 other suite accommodations throughout the ship. So it's not the Haven, but still suite accommodations. So we also have the 2-bedroom family suite, perfect for families, of course. We have an aft-facing penthouse suite. We also have an aft-facing penthouse suite that has a master bedroom. Nice. And then finally, just the penthouse suite. Those are all in the Haven. And then all the other suites are mostly for families. So it's just, not as big as the Haven, it still has a lot of the similar amenities as a Haven, but it's a little bit cheaper. But the biggest thing is it's not as exclusive as the Haven. So you still have all the amenities, you still have, the space and everything, but the Haven is the Haven. Once you go to the Haven, you're not going to go back. So, but those are the different types of rooms that you can choose from. And that's actually one of our key features is the most variety of suites that you can choose from a contemporary cruise line.
Yeah,
so
that's
amazing.
I loved how you said, and finally the penthouse, like that's the lowest one, but this is finally. I was like, wow, okay.
I know. I normally don't say that much, but yeah, finally the penthouse. But yeah, the Premier Ocean Suite, that room is absolutely gorgeous. It's about 2,100 square feet, just the room itself, and then the balcony is almost 800 plus square feet. So is tons of room for the family.
Great for girls trips, guys trips,
anything.
There's enough. I'm counting how many people we could put in there because I'm already up to like 8.
Yeah, that sounds like a sweet number, like between 6 to 8 people.
Right, and what's really nice, so not many people know what you can do with a butler. It's like, I have a butler, what can I do with it? They can actually make in-suite cocktail parties or dinner parties available to you in your own suite. Because again, that room does have a dining area. So if you want to have a dining night with some of the guests, you can totally do that.
So we can turn up and have a foodie tour. I'm about it.
And they'll shine your shoes for you.
And never have to leave the room and have to figure out where's my room.
Nope. You don't have
to. There's nothing funnier than watching somebody try to go into somebody else's room because they had too much fun at the bar and they're swearing that they're at the right room.
Right. And you know what? Another thing to keep in mind is out of all those suites that I just named, there's 107 suites total available on this ship, on the Prima.
Wow.
So it looks like to me that luxury does not necessarily have to start or stop anywhere. It can be just where you want it to be, and you'll find something, whether it's for a group of your friends or whether it's just going to be for you and your boo, or whether it's just going to be something that you just want to enjoy for yourself. So that's amazing that, that amount of luxury is still jam-packed onto that ship. It's really great.
Yeah, and also at the same time, you saw the other rooms. I mean, they're priced very competitively as well. So, when you compare it to all the other different lines out there, I mean, you're getting a lot of great value with coming on Norwegian Cruise Line, especially with our free at sea program. So, with that comes, right now our current promotions is 30% off. And our take all fries. So that is a beverage package that you're going to get. You're going to get Wi-Fi. You're going to get shore excursions, and you're also going to get specialty dining. On top of that, depending on the cruise, you can also get free kids to join you as well. So it's great for families. And like I said, we have a wide range of accommodations that suits every type of traveler. So, all those combined, you're looking at those like all-inclusive resorts, but on a cruise ship. So just something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, I know this is something that you definitely want to talk about because we've talked about it, and it's basically returning to sail and how Norwegian is doing it. My biggest concern is going to be our third question is about vaccination, but I'm going to let you kick it off and talk about the cruises and where they're going and where they're not going and everything.
Yes. So, Chris, like I said, the Prima sounds great, but it doesn't come out until summer of 2022. So I'll just have to bide my time before I can get on there.
True.
But I think you did earlier talk to us about there is a potential for us to start sailing sometime as soon as this summer, maybe. Maybe you want to talk about some sailings you have going on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So our first sailing is actually going to be in July, and that's going to be on the Norwegian Jade. She's going to be doing 7-night cruises out of the Greek Isles from Athens, starting July 25th through November 7th. I did mention, so we're both going to do Europe and Caribbean. So we have 5 total ships doing return to service. And of course, our itineraries have been carefully selected to support our gradual and successful return to service plan, while prioritizing the health and safety of our guests, crew, and communities that we visit. So we talked about the Jane. We also have the Norwegian Epic. She will be doing 7-day cruises doing the Western Mediterranean from Barcelona, Spain. That starts September 5th through October 24th. And then the last European cruise that we have is the Norwegian Getaway. And she'll do a mix of 10 and 11-night cruises, doing Greek Isles from Rome. And that would be September 13th through October 25th. And then something a little bit closer to home. It's not out of the U.S. just yet. We're working on that. But we do have the Norwegian Joy. She will be doing 7-night cruises to the Western Caribbean from Montego Bay. That's August 7th through October 9th. And then finally, the Gem, Norwegian Gem. She'll be doing 7-day cruises to the Eastern Caribbean from Punta Cana, starting August 15th through October 10th. So especially the Joy and the Gem, those are in our backyard. Those are places that you all have been to plenty of times. Montego Bay, Punta Cana, so many different resorts. Now you can actually take a cruise out of there. So those are our return to service sailings and more to come.
That is great. I love the fact that it's from some nice Caribbean ports too, because normally if you were to leave out of like Florida, or if you were to leave out of some other place, what would happen is you can only see but so many islands, right? But when you actually leave out of Punta Cana, Montego Bay, I saw that we were going to be able to go to certain islands that we couldn't go to under normal circumstances, right? So like Punta Cana, I think you can go to Jamaica, or you may be able to go to some of the other islands, right?
Yeah, and Punta Cana for us as a brand is new to us. So we've never been there before. So this is actually new to us, and we're super excited to go out of there. But more importantly, we're super excited to continue cruising again. I mean, that's what people want. I mean, we see the demand in it, and people want to travel. I mean, that's the bottom line. So, we're excited, and, people are booking. That's the bottom line.
Yes. Yeah. My question is, and this is the question I got as soon as I dropped about the Prima, is right now, because we don't know what's going to happen in 22, but what is the vaccination requirements? Because there seems to be a lot of back and forth, and I don't know who's telling the truth.
Gotcha. So for Norwegian as a brand, cruises embarking through October 31st of this year, okay? We are requiring all guests to be fully vaccinated at least 2 weeks prior to departure in order to board. So between the combination of vaccines and our multi-layer robust preventive health and safety measures, including our COVID-19 testing prior to embarkation, that allows us to provide a uniquely safe and healthy vacation for all of our guests. And we believe that exceeds all other vacation choices on land and at sea. So again, October 31st of this year, we will be requiring vaccines fully vaccinated at least 2 weeks prior to departure in order to board. Beyond that, it's just too early to tell. I mean, we're still adopting, and well, here's the thing is, it is too early to tell. We're still working with the CDC and other health organizations. And, at the end of the day, we're just following science. We need to get back to sailing. Our guests want to get back to sailing. So that's what we require as of today.
Okay. And I just want to put a point out there, because I think a lot of our viewers don't know this, but a lot of times the cruise industries go above and beyond what the CDC requires just to make sure that they take that extra step, right? So I know that I've read from my experience that 95% of the crew and 98% of guests would have to be vaccinated by the CDC standards, but Norwegian and other cruise lines are already saying that it has to be full 100% of both, right? So that is already a testament to how safe Norwegian wants people to be. And speaking of that, I'm sure that that's not the only requirement that you have is the full vaccination. Are there other protocols that you can comment on that Norwegian is doing to keep us safe?
Yeah, so absolutely. So of course, we have our pre-requirements for coming on board. We talked about vaccination. We talked about the proof of vaccination, but also we're following our global requirements. So depending on which port that we go to, we're going to require our guests to at least adhere to those policies. And of course, because everything continues to change, 30 days prior to sailing, we'll communicate to our guests of any changes that are made. So that's pre-cruise requirements. Then we have our safety on shore. So whether it be our itinerary deployment, like I said, we handcrafted these itineraries to make sure that we put you in a safe place or guests in a safe place. We follow local government requirements. We do company-sponsored ShoreX shore excursions, and also contact tracing. And then finally, onboard experience. So we will be doing initially reduced capacity. We have enhanced our onboard medical resources. We enhanced our cleaning and disinfecting. We made our air filters better. And then a lot of people have asked face coverings. So I know something came out with the CDC today. I can't talk about, I can't really say what that is as we're still dissecting that. But before it was announced today, face coverings are currently required for guests indoors, except for in their own accommodations and while eating and drinking in restaurants, bars and lounges, or outdoors when physical distancing is not possible. And then finally, if there was a case to happen. So first off, if there was a positive test prior to boarding, we're not going to let them board. And then if there is a positive test during sailing, we have different protocols to mitigate that and make sure that that person gets proper treatment and then comes off the ship as quickly as possible without doing anything to other guests. So, and then of course, inability to secure vaccination. I mean, like I said, we are doing 100% vaccinations all the way through the end of October. So if you don't have a vaccination, then, I would suggest looking further on to 2022 and beyond.
Right. And, just to, like I said, close us out on that, I really think that that's what's really great about Norwegian, right? Is that in addition to taking those steps based off of what the CDC says, you're also taking those extra steps to make sure that your guests stay safe both on and off the ship, and you communicate every step of the way. So thank you, for sharing that with us. Tisha, did you have anything to add?
No, I have nothing else to add. I am ready to let them know, for those that are ready to sail, some of the trips that we've already planned, booked, and are booking for. So we have 3 trips coming up. We are doing a Halloween in Texas cruise because I'm in San Antonio and the Prima is sailing out of Galveston, which is exciting for a lot of people. And it's so funny. I was telling Ryan earlier that I booked the whole thing and didn't realize it was leaving on Halloween until like 2 hours later. And I said, oh, Halloween. Okay, so I'm doing a themed Halloween cruise. I'm still putting all of the information together. Probably will be a costume party on there. And what I love about it is where we're going. So let's see if I can remember. I know we're going to Aruba because all I saw was Aruba and I booked it.
That's all you have to do.
That's all I needed to know.
That's all we needed.
So I know it's going to Aruba, Cozumel, Bonaire,
Curacao.
Thank you, because I never said that right. And Great Stirrup Cay, I think it is. We're going. It is an 11-day cruise. It starts in Galveston, but it ends in Miami, which I think is pretty cool. It's that way we were able to go to these islands, because most places cruises that do leave out of Galveston is very restrictive of where they go because of time frames. And then the way I look at it is I'm gonna go to Miami and I'm gonna party, and then I'm gonna get on the plane the next day and I'm gonna go home. And the great thing is with the promos that we have that Chris will reiterate in a minute, I can add flight to your package that will allow you to fly to Galveston and then take your sailing, then fly back from Miami back. Or if you want to drive to Galveston, leave your car there, do the sailing, then fly back to Galveston, get your car and drive back. You know, it's whatever you want to do. We're here to please. But I'm truly excited to do this one because it is the only sailing in Galveston coming out of Texas. So stop asking me, is there another one? It's not there yet. So get on the first one. And then after that, Ryan, where are you going?
Well, when I saw what the Prima dropped out, I said, you know what? I don't have any plans for December of next year yet. So why don't I go on ahead and do that? So I decided I was going to take out some space on the Norwegian Prima in December, but mine is going to be admittedly not as cool as Tisha's. Mine is going to be doing one of their traditional Western Caribbean sailings. So it's going to be hitting Cozumel. It's going to hit Georgetown, Grand Cayman, and Cayman Islands. And it's going to be hitting Ocho Rios, man, as well as Great Stirrup Cay. So you get a chance to see a lot of different flavors in the Caribbean on a brand spanking new ship. And you're going to have an amazing time. So stay tuned for you guys that want more information about pricing. I can also add air if I'd like, and you can have that too. But, you know, it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to really join us on that one. If you want to do something that's 7 days, so maybe not as long, but still have a nice vacation when it's going to be cold, you can definitely go on that 7-day sailing as well. So you can reach out to either me or Tisha for that one. But I have one last one, and I am excited about this one. And this one is not necessarily on the Norwegian Prima, but it is going to be a Greek Isles cruise. It is going to be in August of 2022, and it is 11 days, okay? And it is going to hit so many different ports of call. I don't think I can mention them all, so I'm going to just look at my little cheat sheet that I have here. So I have to.
I need a cheat sheet.
I love cheat sheets. So this cruise is actually going to leave out of Rome, Italy, and it's going to hit Santorini. It's going to hit Athens. It's going to hit Corfu, all of which are in Greece. It's going to hit Malta. It's going to come back into Italy. It's going to hit Naples. It's going to hit Pisa, Florence. It's going to hit France. You're going to have so many different places to touch on this Mediterranean cruise. And like I said, my pricing is already out, already available. I'll drop my website so that you guys can take a look at it. But it is my pride and joy. I'm so excited. I've already booked quite a few rooms on it already. And I'm running out of them. So if you want to get on that, you want to make sure that you get on it pretty soon. So why don't we talk about what is going to make these cruises so amazing, Chris, with some of the deals that Norwegian is offering thus far?
Yeah, so quickly, I'll go through the promotions one more time. So 30% off, right? 30% off your cruise. You have Take 5, so that's free open bar, free specialty dining, free Wi-Fi, free excursions, and free kids. Now, we're not giving away free kids, but yeah, families have a fantastic way to cruise on a dime. And then we have our BOGO Air program. Cruise first, double latitudes points. I mean, the list goes on and on. So right now is the time to lock that pricing and promotion in. And to one more thing, because I know we talked about vaccinations earlier, and I know some people are, on the fence about it. Remember, we have refundable deposits. So you can book a cruise down the road, 2022, 2023, and then if you don't feel like it's the right time for you, you can always cancel. But just want to keep that in mind for people is if you don't lock in your prices now, the prices are just going to continue to go up, and there's going to be no availability down the road.
And y'all know that with these new ships that they're going to go way, way up. So you don't want to wait on this one. I promise you, it's not a good look.
So that's my 2 cents.
Well, guys, I hope that everybody had fun. I know some of our attendees, their faces are like, wow, just like looking at some of the comments, because I only showed some of them. And I'm glad to have you, Chris, because we've been trying to have you for a while, but we wanted to wait for the right moment. And Prima was the right moment. Prima was the prime moment to have you on.
It was the first moment.
There you go. So I'm sure this won't be the last time that you'll be on our series. I know me and Ryan definitely want to do something that is more focused on just the Haven, because with that list of the Haven, I am sure we have lost so many people. Like, it has what? You know, but to really explain what is the ship within the ship and everything that comes along with it, and more of the activities on a Norwegian cruise ship, because for a lot of people, they don't really know what you can do. People really think all you do on the ship is you board, you eat, you drink, you go to bed, and maybe if you're lucky, you make it to a show. And it's way more than that. I have been on Norwegian cruise ships where I was going to destination A and saw 15 more of them, stopped and had dinners, snacks and conversations, and stopped. I'm like, oh, wait, this is open now. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to be going somewhere. You know, there's so much to do. And I really want to tackle everything that is available inside of the cruise ship. So maybe that'll happen in the next month or two. You know, we'll let your brain relax on Prima first.
Yeah, I personally want to see more about that too. And you know, I have a sneaking suspicion that there's more to Prima than meets the eye. Like we just got something about the rooms, and we learned about the Haven and the food, and all that's great. But I want to know where the slides are. I want to know what other activities. I want to know about the shows. So definitely a reason to stick around to catch us for our next installment, where we get to focus on all of those great topics. So thanks again, Chris.
Yeah. All right, everybody, bye. Make sure you follow all of us. Hit us up if you want to cruise with us. And those of you who are agents are watching and you're part of our host agency, there go your BDM. Hit him up if you have something that you have a question. Join the group that he has and ask call him. Call him if you need something. Don't Facebook him because he won't respond. I made that mistake. I was like, I'm gonna send it to Facebook. And Ryan's like, you don't check that. I said, you're right.
Either email me or call me. I will call you back ASAP.
Yes.
And you can contest to Ryan and Tisha for that.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye. Happy sailing, happy eating, and we're going to see you later.
Adios.
Bye, everyone.